Good morning. This is Chris Tillman, one of the innkeepers here at George's on York in Tonytown, Maryland, a beautiful little town just south of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Today, you're in my kitchen and we're going to make our country-style eggs Benedict, which we serve on a biscuit with a nice little thick slice of ham steak and our special homemade hollandaise sauce. And today I'm going to show you a technique for making the hollandaise sauce in the microwave, so you don't have to fool with all the double boiler and stand there and stir it. Yeah, there's still a fair amount of stirring involved, but it's quick, it's easy, and I think you're gonna like how this turns out. So, first thing we're going to do, we've melted a little bit of butter, and I use 2 tablespoons of butter for each egg. So if I'm making hollandaise sauce for 4, I'm doing 4 eggs, or 2 people, I'm making 4 eggs. I use 2 eggs to make the hollandaise. So there's 4 tablespoons of butter already melted here. So we're gonna separate our yolks. There's 1. And there's 2. You whisk these in real quick. And these are farm fresh local eggs from pasture raised chickens, free range pasture raised chickens. And they eat all the good things the chickens are supposed to eat, and the eggs come out with a much more flavor and a higher nutritional value than your store-bought regular eggs. So here we have our eggs stirred into our butter. It's 2 eggs, 2 egg yolks, and 4 tablespoons of butter, and we've stirred that up really well. We're going to put this in the microwave, and it may take a little experimenting for your different microwave. This is I think a 500 watt microwave. And so what we do is we do this in short bursts. So we'll start at 8 seconds. And as we go, we'll shorten up, because as the bowl heats up, and as you keep running bursts, it starts to cook. And what you don't want it to do is obviously scramble itself in the bowl as you cook it. So I started in 8 seconds. I've now gone back to 7. And I'll do a couple of rounds at 7 seconds. And you can see it's starting to thicken up, and it's starting to stick to the edges a little bit, so you just keep it stirred, keep it broken up. Now I'm going to back down to 6 seconds. You can see it's thickening up in there already, so I'm probably going to back this next one down to 5. And we're probably actually, that looks really good right there. So, just that quickly, we have hollandaise sauce. Right, so now that we've gotten our sauce to the right consistency, now we're going to add some lemon juice. And again, this is a matter of taste, and I am not the measure type of cook. I am the throw a little in there and see how it goes kind of cook. So we've got a little lemon juice. It's about maybe a teaspoonful if you really need to see a measurement. And then a dash of this is some Cajun seasoning that we like to use. And again, the level of seasoning is a matter of taste. Some people use cayenne pepper, some people just use black pepper. These are some red pepper flakes. And again, we'll just kind of stir that in. Could use a little more lemon juice. Always have to be careful with the lemon juice, because you can always add it, but you can never take it back out. And they're just a little bit more spicy. again, this is a matter of taste and finding out what you like and perfecting. So along with breakfast this morning, we're going to do a little sauteed squash out of the garden. These are zucchini squash that we grew in the garden ourselves. All the tomatoes that you see lounging about here and some of the apples all come from the garden. We try to be as farm to table as we can. We are, fresh ingredients, the eggs from a local farm. Our meats come from a butcher shop right here at the end of the driveway. Later on in the weekend, we're going to be doing our special smoked bacon, but we'll talk about that later. So right now, just going to put a little zucchini here on the griddle, and a little onion, and then we're just going to let that stir around and saute a bit. Break it up a little. We're going to throw a few little chunks of tomato on here, and we're just going to let this saute and stir it around. You can see we've put a little seasoning on it, and this is just a commercial blend of seasoning that's available. We get ours from one of the big box retailers. But those kinds of things are great little shortcuts for you aspiring innkeepers and anyone really who wants to save a little time in their kitchen. Don't knock yourself out trying to make biscuits from scratch just to make biscuits from scratch. If you're cooking for 1 or 2 people, I'm doing 2 biscuits in here. The Pillsbury brand's frozen biscuits out of those are perfectly fine. And frankly, you won't know the difference. And so, just don't kill yourself. Just sometimes do things the easier way. So we're going to let this sit here and saute a little bit. Stir it around. Now while the vegetables are sauteing, we're going to throw our ham slice on there and let it brown a little. This is a pre-cooked ham slice, again available at your local supermarket. This is about a 1/4 inch thick ham slice. There's a little brown sugar on it for flavor, and saute it on some butter. And it really brings that country kind of flavor to the entire dish. Our vegetables are just about done sauteing. Our ham slice is just about done. So we're going to turn those off and let those sit there on the hot griddle. Now we're going to go ahead and poach our eggs. And you want to use a small bowl or a large spoon or something to drop the eggs softly into the boiling water. Try to keep them from spreading out too much. And there's a little bit of white vinegar in the water, just kind of a splash in an amount of water that size. And that again helps to keep the eggs congealed and compact as they cook. There we are. And then those will boil in there for about another 2.5 minutes, and we'll be ready to assemble our breakfast. Okay, and the eggs have done their 3 or 4 minutes. And we're going to pull these out. Put them here on the paper towel to drain a little bit. These are fresh chives and thyme out of our herb garden. This is a little finishing garnish.
They're getting the snip. Pretty.
And here we are, George's on York, eggs Benedict country style.